What if I told you that one of Indonesia's most remarkable regions is not Jakarta, not Bali, and not even one of the country's internationally famous destinations? Instead, it is a land where ancient kingdoms once shaped history, where mountains meet the sea, where centuries of tradition continue to thrive, and where nearly 500,000 people proudly preserve one of Indonesia's richest cultural identities. This is Polewali Mandar, a regency that rarely appears in global headlines, a place many travelers have never heard of. Yet behind its quiet reputation lies a story that deserves the world's attention. Located in West Sulawesi province, Polewali Mandar is the most populous regency in the province. As of the middle of 2024, it is home to approximately 490,029 people, making it the demographic and cultural center of one of Indonesia's youngest provinces. Its capital is the town of Polewali, a growing regional hub that connects coastal communities with fertile inland highlands. But numbers alone cannot explain what makes Polewali Mandar extraordinary. To understand this land, you have to travel back through history. Long before modern administrative borders existed, this region was part of a civilization built upon powerful local kingdoms, complex customary laws, and strong community values. For decades, the region was officially known as Polewali Mandar, an administrative regency within South Sulawesi province. The name represented two historically connected regions that shared governance while maintaining their own distinct identities. Everything changed in the early 21st century. As Indonesia continued its era of regional decentralization, Makassar became a separate regency. Following this historic administrative division, Polewali Makassar officially adopted a new identity. Beginning on January 1, 2006, under Government Regulation No. 74 of 2005, the regency became known as Polewali Mandar. The new name was far more than a bureaucratic adjustment. It reflected the cultural soul of the Mandar people. It celebrated a heritage that stretches back hundreds of years and continues to shape daily life across the region. Yet the story reaches even deeper. The surrounding highlands were once home to the traditional customary alliance known as Pitu Uluna Salu, meaning the seven kingdoms of the river headwaters. These mountain kingdoms included Tabulahan, Arale, Mambi, Bambang, Rantebulahan, Matanganga, and Tabang. Each kingdom possessed its own leadership, customary laws, and unique traditions, while remaining connected through shared cultural values and mutual cooperation. These indigenous legal systems formed one of the strongest traditional governance structures in Sulawesi. Their influence remains visible today through ceremonies, local customs, oral history, and the enduring respect for ancestral traditions. The modern regency itself emerged through several important phases of Indonesia's administrative evolution. Historically, the Greater Mandar region was divided into three regencies. Majene represented former traditional kingdoms including Majene, Pambuang, and Senrana. Mamuju consisted of the former kingdoms of Mamuju and Tapalang. Meanwhile, Polewali Makassar included the historical territories of Balanipa and Binuang, together with the mountainous Makassar region. When Makassar officially became an independent regency under Law No. 11 of 2002, a new chapter began. Polewali and Makassar developed independently while preserving their shared historical roots. Today, Polewali Mandar stands proudly as one of the 5 original regencies that formed West Sulawesi province, established under Law No. 26 of 2004. Its role is not merely administrative, it is foundational. Geographically, Polewali Mandar occupies a remarkably strategic position. The regency stretches between approximately 2 degrees 40 minutes and 3 degrees 32 minutes north latitude and 118 degrees 40 minutes to 119 degrees 32 minutes east longitude. Covering an area of 2,022.30 square kilometers, the region offers an extraordinary diversity of landscapes. To the north lie the regencies of Makassar and Majene. To the east, it borders Makassar once again, as well as Pinrang Regency in neighboring South Sulawesi province. Its western boundary meets Majene. To the south, the vast waters of the Makassar Strait open endless opportunities for fisheries, maritime trade, and coastal development. This unique geography creates a landscape where fertile valleys, rolling hills, towering mountains, productive agricultural land, and beautiful coastlines coexist within a single regency. Administratively, Polewali Mandar is divided into 16 districts, each contributing its own character, traditions, economy, and local identity. Together, they form a regency that balances rapid development with deep cultural preservation. Polewali Mandar is more than a place on a map. It is a living reminder that Indonesia's greatest treasures are often found far beyond the destinations most tourists know. Its history speaks through ancient kingdoms. Its identity is strengthened by generations who refuse to let tradition disappear. Its geography connects mountains with oceans. Its people continue to build a future without forgetting where they came from. Perhaps that is why Polewali Mandar matters, because the true measure of greatness is not how often the world talks about you. It is how faithfully you preserve your history, protect your identity, and continue moving forward with pride. And in that respect, Polewali Mandar is not simply one of Indonesia's regencies, it is one of the nation's enduring cultural heartlands, quietly proving that some of the world's greatest stories are still waiting to be discovered. For centuries, the Mandar people have been recognized as one of the greatest maritime communities in the Indonesian archipelago. Their reputation was not built through myths, it was earned through generations of courage, extraordinary navigation skills, and an intimate understanding of the sea. Long before modern maps, GPS, or advanced navigation technology existed, Mandar sailors crossed vast stretches of the Makassar Strait and beyond, using little more than the stars above them, the direction of the wind, the rhythm of the waves, and knowledge passed down from their ancestors. The sea was never simply a source of food, it was their highway, their marketplace, their classroom, and their connection to the wider world. Even today, fishing remains one of the economic foundations of Polewali Mandar. Communities along its southern coastline continue to depend on the rich waters of the Makassar Strait, one of Indonesia's most productive marine ecosystems. Every sunrise brings fishermen into open waters, carrying with them traditions that have survived for generations. Their daily work reflects not only resilience, but also an enduring relationship between humanity and nature. Beyond the coast, Polewali Mandar reveals another side of its remarkable landscape. Its fertile plains support extensive rice cultivation. Its rolling hills produce cocoa, coconuts, cloves, coffee, and various tropical crops that sustain thousands of farming families. Agriculture and fisheries together form the backbone of the local economy, providing livelihoods across both coastal villages and inland communities. This balance between mountains and sea has shaped the character of the people. They are known for perseverance, adaptability, and a strong sense of mutual cooperation. These values have allowed communities to overcome natural challenges while preserving social harmony across generations. Culture remains deeply woven into everyday life. Traditional ceremonies continue to celebrate important milestones. Ancient customs are still respected. The Mandar language continues to be spoken across many communities, preserving stories, wisdom, and identity that cannot be fully translated into any other language. Music, dance, and traditional arts remain expressions of pride rather than performances created solely for tourism. They are living traditions that continue to evolve while honoring their origins. Hospitality is another defining characteristic. Visitors often discover that the greatest attraction is not only the scenery, it is the warmth of the people themselves. Guests are welcomed with genuine kindness, local cuisine, and conversations that reflect the strong communal spirit for which the Mandar people are widely respected. Infrastructure has also continued to improve over the years. Better road networks have strengthened connections between coastal settlements, agricultural regions, and neighbouring regencies. Education, healthcare, public services, and local commerce continue to develop alongside economic growth, creating new opportunities for younger generations while maintaining respect for local traditions. As West Sulawesi continues to grow, Polewali Mandar plays an increasingly important role in the province's future. Its strategic coastal location strengthens regional trade. Its agricultural productivity contributes to food security. Its fisheries support both local consumption and wider markets. Its cultural heritage enriches Indonesia's extraordinary diversity. Yet, perhaps the greatest strength of Polewali Mandar cannot be measured by statistics, economic reports, or administrative boundaries. Its greatest strength is its people. People who have inherited centuries of wisdom. People who continue to protect traditions while embracing progress. People who understand that true development does not mean abandoning the past. It means carrying the best lessons from history into the future. In a rapidly changing world where many communities struggle to preserve their identity, Polewali Mandar offers a different lesson. Progress and tradition do not have to compete. They can grow together. Modern development can exist alongside ancient customs. Innovation can walk hand in hand with heritage. And economic growth becomes even more meaningful when it strengthens, rather than replaces, the values that have defined a community for generations. That is the story of Polewali Mandar, not simply a regency in West Sulawesi, not merely the province's most populous administrative region, but a living symbol of resilience, cultural pride, maritime excellence, and the enduring spirit of Indonesia itself. Sometimes, the greatest destinations are not the ones that dominate travel brochures or international headlines. Sometimes, they are the places quietly preserving history, building the future, and reminding the world that true greatness is measured not by fame, but by the strength of the people who call a place home. If you look beyond the statistics, beyond the maps, and beyond the administrative boundaries, you begin to realize that Polewali Mandar represents something much larger than a single regency. It represents the remarkable story of Indonesia itself, a nation built from thousands of islands, hundreds of ethnic groups, countless languages, and communities that have protected their identities for centuries while continuing to move confidently toward the future. Polewali Mandar stands as one of those communities. Its story is one of adaptation without surrender, of modernization without forgetting its roots, of embracing opportunity while remaining deeply connected to ancestral wisdom. This balance is increasingly rare in today's rapidly changing world. Across many parts of the globe, cultural traditions disappear within a generation. Ancient languages fade, customary knowledge is forgotten, historic practices become nothing more than museum exhibits. Yet in Polewali Mandar, culture continues to live through everyday life. Children still learn local traditions from their parents and grandparents. Traditional ceremonies continue to unite entire communities. Historical values remain practical guides for daily living rather than distant memories. This continuity gives the region a unique strength. Economic development becomes more sustainable when it grows from a strong cultural foundation. Communities become more resilient when they share common values and mutual trust. Social harmony becomes easier to maintain when generations understand not only where they are going, but also where they came from. Polewali Mandar also reflects Indonesia's extraordinary geographical diversity. Within a relatively compact area, landscapes shift dramatically. Coastal villages look toward the open waters of the Makassar Strait. Rice fields stretch across fertile lowlands. Plantations climb gentle hills. Mountain communities preserve traditions shaped by entirely different environments. Every landscape contributes its own chapter to the identity of the Regency. Nature here is not simply beautiful, it is productive, it supports agriculture, it sustains fisheries, it provides livelihoods for hundreds of thousands of people, and it reminds every generation that prosperity depends upon protecting the environment that makes life possible. As global conversations increasingly focus on sustainability, Polewali Mandar offers valuable lessons. For centuries, local communities understood that the sea should never be taken for granted. The forests should not be exploited without responsibility. The land should continue to provide not only for today's families, but also for future generations. These principles existed long before sustainability became an international discussion. They were embedded within local wisdom, customary law, and collective responsibility. This connection between people and nature remains one of the region's greatest assets. Looking ahead, Polewali Mandar possesses enormous potential. Its growing population creates opportunities for education, entrepreneurship, innovation, and regional investment. Its strategic location along one of Indonesia's major maritime corridors strengthens its role in transportation and commerce. Its agricultural and marine resources continue to support economic expansion. Its rich cultural heritage offers opportunities for responsible tourism that celebrates authenticity rather than replacing it. Most importantly, its young generation carries the responsibility of shaping the next chapter. They inherit not only modern technology and global opportunities, they also inherit centuries of courage, centuries of resilience, centuries of leadership, centuries of wisdom passed from one generation to the next. The future of Polewali Mandar will not be written by abandoning its history. It will be written by building upon it. Every successful community understands one timeless truth: the strongest foundations are those built upon identity. When people know who they are, they become confident about where they are going. That confidence can transform a region. It can inspire innovation. It can strengthen education. It can attract investment. It can create prosperity that benefits generations to come. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson Polewali Mandar offers to Indonesia and to the world. Never underestimate a place simply because it is quiet. Never overlook a community because it does not dominate international headlines. And never assume greatness belongs only to the largest cities or the most famous destinations. Some of humanity's greatest stories are found in places where history still breathes through everyday life, where traditions remain alive, where communities protect their identity with pride, and where every sunrise carries another opportunity to build a better future. Polewali Mandar is one of those places. Its journey continues. Its people continue to move forward. Its culture continues to inspire. And its story is far from over. Because the next chapter of Polewali Mandar will not simply be remembered by the people who live there. It has every opportunity to become a story that inspires Indonesia, captivates the world, and reminds future generations that true greatness is never defined by recognition alone. It is defined by resilience. It is defined by unity. It is defined by heritage. And above all, it is defined by people who never stop believing in the place they proudly call home. As the world becomes more connected than ever before, regions like Polewali Mandar are no longer isolated by geography. They are connected by ideas, by technology, by education, by commerce, and by the limitless ability of people to share their stories with the rest of humanity. That creates an extraordinary opportunity. For decades, many parts of Indonesia have remained hidden from international attention. not because they lack beauty or significance, but because their stories have simply not been told loudly enough. Polewali Mandar is one of those remarkable places. It possesses the history, it possesses the culture, it possesses the natural wealth, it possesses the human potential. What it needs is greater recognition. Recognition begins with understanding. When people hear the name Polewali Mandar, they should not think of an unfamiliar location on a map. They should think of a land shaped by courageous sailors who mastered the seas long before modern navigation. They should think of proud farming communities that transformed fertile landscapes into productive agricultural centres. They should think of ancient customary institutions that preserved justice, cooperation, and social harmony for generations. They should think of a society where respect for elders, family, and community remains deeply rooted. These are not ordinary achievements. They are foundations that many modern societies continue to seek. Around the world, countries are searching for stronger communities. They are searching for sustainable development. They are searching for ways to balance economic growth with cultural preservation. Polewali Mandar demonstrates that these goals do not have to exist separately. They can reinforce one another. History can strengthen innovation. Culture can encourage development. Tradition can inspire creativity. Identity can become a competitive advantage rather than an obstacle. This is why the future of Polewali Mandar is filled with possibility. Its young entrepreneurs have opportunities to introduce local products to global markets. Its students have greater access to knowledge than any previous generation. Its artists can share Mandar culture with audiences across continents. Its fishermen and farmers can benefit from advancing technology while continuing to protect the resources that sustain their livelihoods. Every generation receives two responsibilities: to inherit and to improve. The people of Polewali Mandar have inherited an extraordinary legacy. Now they hold the opportunity to shape an even greater future. That future depends on education. It depends on innovation. It depends on responsible leadership. It depends on protecting the environment. It depends on preserving cultural identity while embracing the opportunities of a rapidly changing world. No outside force can define the destiny of Polewali Mandar. Its future will always be written by the determination of its own people. Every child who dreams of becoming a teacher, every fisherman who sails before dawn, every farmer who patiently cultivates the land, every entrepreneur who creates new opportunities, every student who studies with hope, every family that passes ancestral wisdom to the next generation. Together, they become the authors of the next chapter. Perhaps one day, when people around the world speak about Indonesia's most inspiring regions, Polewali Mandar will no longer be one of the country's best-kept secrets. Perhaps it will be recognized as a model of how history, culture, resilience, and progress can grow side by side. Until that day arrives, its story continues to unfold quietly, one sunrise at a time, one generation after another, one achievement built upon another. And that is exactly what makes Polewali Mandar so remarkable. It has never depended on fame to prove its value. Its strength has always come from something far more enduring: the courage of its people, the richness of its heritage, the beauty of its land, and the unwavering belief that the greatest legacy any generation can leave behind is not wealth alone. It is a stronger community, a preserved identity, a protected homeland, and a future that inspires those who come after them. That is the enduring spirit of Polewali Mandar, a spirit that has crossed centuries, a spirit that continues to rise, and a spirit that will continue to shine for generations yet to come. There is a saying that the true character of a place is revealed not during moments of celebration, but during moments of challenge. By that measure, Polewali Mandar has demonstrated extraordinary strength. Like many regions across the Indonesian archipelago, it has faced natural disasters, economic uncertainty, and the constant demands of an ever-changing world. Its people have witnessed floods, landslides, coastal erosion, and the unpredictable forces of nature that accompany life in a tropical maritime nation. Yet time after time, they have rebuilt. Not because rebuilding is easy, but because resilience has always been part of their identity. Every generation has learned that adversity is temporary, determination is permanent. This resilience is reflected in the spirit of gotong royong, the Indonesian tradition of mutual cooperation that remains deeply rooted in communities throughout Polewali Mandar. When a family experiences hardship, neighbours step forward. When public facilities require repair, communities work together. When celebrations take place, everyone contributes. When challenges arise, no one stands alone. That sense of unity is one of the greatest forms of wealth any society can possess. It cannot be measured by economic statistics. It cannot be purchased. It cannot be imported. It is built slowly across generations through trust, compassion, and shared responsibility. Education has also become an increasingly important foundation for the region's future. Schools continue to prepare young people with the knowledge and skills needed to compete in an increasingly interconnected world. Universities and vocational institutions open new pathways for students to pursue careers in science, technology, healthcare, engineering, education, business, and public service. Every graduate represents more than personal success. They represent new hope for their families, new ideas for their communities, and new possibilities for the entire Regency. The digital era has created opportunities that previous generations could scarcely imagine. A local entrepreneur can now introduce Mandar products to international customers. A talented artist can share traditional performances with audiences around the world. A student in Polewali can access knowledge from leading universities across the globe. A small business can grow through innovation, creativity, and online commerce. Geography is no longer the barrier it once was. Opportunity now depends more than ever on vision, determination, and the willingness to learn. This transformation places Polewali Mandar in a promising position. Its strategic location, growing population, abundant natural resources, and rich cultural heritage provide strong foundations for long-term development. But infrastructure alone will never define the future. The true engine of progress will always be human potential, ideas, creativity, integrity, leadership, and the courage to embrace change without abandoning identity. That balance is where the greatest success stories are written. Throughout history, civilizations that endured were never those with the greatest wealth alone. They were the ones that understood who they were. They protected what mattered most, and they prepared the next generation to carry that legacy even further. Polewali Mandar possesses that opportunity today. Its history provides wisdom. Its culture provides identity. Its people provide determination. Its youth provide hope. Together, these strengths create a foundation that no challenge can easily erase. So when future generations look back at this period in history, perhaps they will not remember it simply as a time of rapid development or technological progress. Perhaps they will remember it as the era when Polewali Mandar chose to honour its past while boldly embracing its future. The era when tradition became a source of innovation, when culture became a source of confidence, when unity became a source of strength, and when an entire community proved that meaningful progress is never achieved by leaving history behind. It is achieved by carrying history forward with pride. Because in the end, the greatest legacy of Polewali Mandar will never be measured only by the roads it builds, the buildings it constructs, or the industries it develops. Its greatest legacy will always be the character of its people, a people who understand that every generation inherits a story, every generation writes a new chapter, and every generation carries the responsibility to leave the next one stronger than the last. That is how great communities are built, that is how history is remembered, and that is why the story of Polewali Mandar will continue to inspire long after today's generation has become tomorrow's history. And perhaps the most remarkable truth about Polewali Mandar is this: its greatest resource has never been hidden beneath the ground. It has never depended solely on fertile farmland, abundant fisheries, or strategic geography. Its greatest resource has always been its people, a society built upon hard work, a community strengthened by faith, a culture sustained through respect, integrity, and collective responsibility. Generation after generation, these values have become the invisible foundation upon which the Regency continues to grow. Children are taught not only how to succeed, but also how to respect their parents, honor their elders, and contribute to their communities. These lessons cannot always be found in textbooks. They are learned around family dining tables, in village gatherings, during traditional ceremonies, on fishing boats before sunrise, in rice fields beneath the tropical sun, and through countless conversations between grandparents and grandchildren. These everyday moments quietly preserve a civilization. That is the true meaning of heritage. It is not something locked inside museums. It lives through people. It survives through actions. It grows stronger every time one generation chooses to teach the next. Polewali Mandar is also a reminder that Indonesia's strength does not come from one city, one island, or one culture alone. It comes from the extraordinary diversity of its regions. Every regency contributes a unique chapter to the national story. Every local language enriches the country's identity. Every traditional custom strengthens the cultural mosaic that makes Indonesia unlike anywhere else on earth. Without places like Polewali Mandar, Indonesia would lose part of its soul. That is why preserving local culture is not merely a regional responsibility, it is a national responsibility. And ultimately, it is a global responsibility. Because when a culture disappears, humanity loses a unique way of understanding the world. It loses knowledge accumulated across centuries. It loses stories that can never be recreated. It loses wisdom that future generations may desperately need. Fortunately, Polewali Mandar continues to protect that inheritance with pride. Its traditional values continue to shape everyday life. Its communities continue to celebrate their identity. Its history continues to inspire. Its future continues to expand. This combination makes the Regency one of the most promising regions in West Sulawesi, not because it seeks to become someone else, but because it understands the value of remaining true to itself. Authenticity has become increasingly rare in the modern world. Many places compete to imitate others. Polewali Mandar demonstrates another path: progress without imitation, growth without losing identity, modernization without abandoning tradition. This philosophy may become one of its greatest advantages in the decades ahead. As cultural tourism grows, as sustainable development becomes more important, as people around the world search for destinations with genuine history and authentic experiences, regions that preserve their identity will stand apart. Polewali Mandar possesses that opportunity. Its story is real. Its traditions remain alive. Its people continue to embody the values inherited from countless generations before them. Perhaps the world has not yet fully recognized what this regency represents, but history has shown that recognition often comes later than achievement. Many extraordinary places remained overlooked until the world finally took the time to listen. Perhaps Polewali Mandar is approaching that moment, a moment when its cultural richness attracts greater appreciation, when its economic potential gains wider attention, when its people receive the recognition they have long deserved. And when its story reaches audiences far beyond the shores of Sulawesi, if that day comes, it will not happen because Polewali Mandar changed its identity. It will happen because it remained faithful to it, because authenticity speaks louder than imitation, because resilience lasts longer than popularity, because culture outlives trends, and because communities that know who they are possess a strength that cannot easily be shaken. So remember this name, Polewali Mandar, not simply as the most populous regency in West Sulawesi, not merely as a region with a proud history, but as a place where the past continues to illuminate the future, where every generation carries forward the dreams of those who came before, and where the enduring spirit of Indonesia continues to thrive, one family, one village, and one generation at a time. Its story is still being written, its future is still unfolding, and perhaps the greatest chapter of Polewali Mandar has not yet been told. Perhaps it begins now.